Hey, welcome to the Twin Cities Division.
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 I like John Gaddo.
From the historic White 7 Depot, welcome to the Twin Cities Division.
Welcome to the Twin Cities Division.
And good evening, everyone. Where's Ken? There's my cohort.
I was here.
He's here. Welcome, everyone. We got a good crowd in here tonight.
We do.
We got good stuff for him, Ken. I think we got some good stuff. And let's see who we got in the house so far. We got Colin Sullivan is here. He's not scratch building anything at the moment. Dan's Model Railroad Journey, the Bonanza Valley and Western. Welcome. I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome. 3 Dubs is in the house. Dwight from Northern Star. Dan Cohen, Model Railroad Journey in Central Minnesota and Western. Our own fire guy, Tom Tennessean's here. Jim Rams. And I got a JP 941. If you're in the Michael Jordan's here. He's working on his carrots. If you come in his chat, say hi so we know you're here. And anything going on with you, Ken? Anything new?
Not at all. I mentioned earlier in the chat that the Canadian Pacific KCS holiday train went by the house this afternoon. That was kind of fun to see that. And so that for me is a great prelude for being able to see the Hennepin Overland holiday train that is going to be featured with us today. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I also mentioned, because, and I'm really excited about this because I'm the membership guy, the division and the region had 82, at any rate, over 80 renewals and new members this month, which is really fantastic. The division and the division and the region continue to be one of the strongest for retention and new member acquisitions. And then the Winnipeg Club has now joined, and they're 100% NMRA club, and I think that's really great. So as a division and as a region, we're doing more and more things to help everybody get more out of their NMRA membership. So please get involved and help us do the things that you want done.
Right.
So,
if we're not doing something you want, tell us, and we will immediately put you in charge and make sure it gets done.
absolutely.
So yeah, we have a lot of our things we're doing were ideas, great ideas from our members.
Exactly.
You know, summer picnics, operators retreats, so forth. And so why don't we talk about some of the things we're doing here, Ken? We can bring that up.
All right. All right. So thank you to the people that attended the holiday party. It was a lot of fun. And, you know, one of the things we recognized and we talked about is, you know, any holiday afternoon, weekend afternoon during the in December is hard to get everybody to be there. So, but we had a great crowd. It was a lot of fun. Gave away lots of free stuff. And Dan Dosa was one that put it on, and he did not win the Proto Throttle at this event.
Like amazing, just amazing. You know?
Yep. So we're happy about that. Good event, and we'll do it again next year. The question is, do we wait and do it in January when people are less busy? But then you got to worry about snowfall. So there's never going to be a perfect time. But we keep trying to do lots of things and put them in different parts of the Twin Cities, so people are able to come and participate.
Yep, this was very nice. It's a very nice room. We might sometime we could probably have a meeting there.
Absolutely.
Great food, great service, great atmosphere, and good friends. That was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Yep. So let's start with new things coming up for the division. The operators retreat is February 24th. And we will have a form that you can check off the box and send it in to us, and let you know all the different layouts that we're going to be using. The interesting thing about that is we'll tell you what layouts we're going to be using, but if there's enough people signing up, we have extra layouts that are on deck that want to host. So however many people we get, we will gladly use. If you want to be involved, help Greg Dahl as the chairperson, let him know. He's happy to get you involved. It is $10 per person. We use that to reimburse the layout owners a little bit, and but it's a terrific opportunity.
Yep.
Terrific opportunity.
It just keeps us funded so we can keep doing this. And,
absolutely.
Like that. And January 1st, that's coming up.
Yep.
And Greg's got a breakfast, so we don't have to do the Friday night and Saturday. So it's one day shebang.
Yep. And the Perkins on 494 in France is the one that we've held meetings at. So good food, and obviously we've not us showing up there now a couple times. They still allowing us back, so that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So
and they have pie. So
they do.
If you're not a pancake guy.
That's right. And we have it, we have a special dispensation from the head of the NMRA that says pie is good any time of the day.
Yes.
So you can have your pie at 7:30 in the morning.
But yeah, so you'll have breakfast with us, operate a layout, lunch is on your own, and then a second layout, and make some contacts, make some friends. And it's a great event. It's a great event.
It is. And then the Modelers Retreat is March 16th. And this one continues to get better, continues to grow. Joe Binish already has a number of clinics, and we'll put those out again. We just clear out our queue of events, and then we'll put out the clinics we have for this one. We're actually getting to the point now where there's more things coming into Joe than we could possibly do. Some of these will spill over into the convention, but we may end up having to have 2 conventions just to do all the things that all the fun things that we'd like to do. So put that on your calendar right now. Friday night is a social where you can set up, and then Saturday will be displays, clinics, and more socializing. Same place we've always been, Mount Olivet in Plymouth. Big parking lot, lots of room. We'll have coffee, soft drinks, and donuts, and there's lots of good food right in the area for you to go grab at lunchtime.
Right. And bring a model. And Ken and I don't put up with anybody who says my stuff isn't good enough. William Sampson told me the person we're looking at in the photo there with that amazing Great Northern stuff last year didn't want to bring anything because he didn't think it was good enough. And and look at his amazing display there. So we talked to him about, so bring some, yeah.
You know, and to that point, you'll remember Colin Sullivan, who won Best in Show at the convention. We kept talking to him about bringing it because he would post little pictures of what he's doing. He kept saying, nobody's going to want to see what I'm doing. And of course, he brought it and he just blew everybody away with the workmanship of what he's doing. Jimmy Anderson brought a cardboard mock-up, a cardstock mock-up, a beautiful mock-up of his house because he's in the construction trades. So it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to show us some neat techniques, and we're going to like to learn from you and learn more about you. So join us on the 16th.
Yep, that's a great day. And we got Fremo layouts.
Right. We don't have a date for when the Fremo layout in Waconia is going to be open again. But I did talk to them today, and they said it will be soon. And that'll be, you'll see it in our newsletter, and you'll see it on our Facebook page. The Fremo HO scale display is at the Burnsville Mall, and it'll be there 1 to 4 weekends through February. And you enter in the door where the Pearl Vision is. It's on the southwest corner, and they're right inside the door, easy to find. So,
right. It's one of the best things they got going here. Lots of holidays. Oh, and then we got the Hennepin Overload. Lots of stuff here.
Lots of stuff coming up here, and I think one of the big things is they're going to have their open house. Let's see. Oh no, they're open weekends. See, there's so many things going on. It's hard for me to keep track of. Opening weekends.
I'm glad it's you, not me.
Well, yeah, it's open weekends, and then we're going to have they're going to have more guest operating sessions. I just suggest you go out there. They're newly expanded. They've added probably 20% more to their layout. Nice big steel mill complex. It's a lot of fun to go see. Fascinating to watch. It's at a great level. I like to bring my grandson there because I don't have to lift him up all the time. He's tall enough that he can see over, and then from time to time I can lift him up so he can see farther. So it really is a family-friendly place to be. Good people, a lot of fun. If you'll see down there about 2/3 of the way down, they're having trains after dark, and it's December 15th and 16th, 6 to 9, and they'll turn down the lights, and the layout will be all lit up and running. It's really going to be a lot of fun to watch, and it says there, see the HO scale holiday train in person. you will see just a little bit later what a special treat that's going to be. So again, mark that on your calendar. And if you don't get it, this live stream will be up on our YouTube page just a little bit after we're done, and you can get back in there and get all the details of this
Right.
at your leisure.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. All right. We still got more to go, and coming up for us.
Yes, the January 11th Zoom meeting is going to feature a presentation on steel mill modeling by Chris Rasmussen. Chris is a member of the Hennepin Overland Club, and he's the one that got them organized on building that steel mill display on their layout. That's going to be just really outstanding. The 8th, we're going to have another Zoom with special video presentations. We already talked about the operators retreat. We talked about the modelers retreat. April, we're going to do layout tours. There'll be 2 different weekends, Northeast Metro and Southwest Metro. May 16th to 20th, the Thousand Lakes Region Convention in Eau Claire. The first big publication came out on that in the Fusey, and we will get that put up on our website right away so that you can read about it. This is going to be another outstanding convention. One of the fun things for you is they've got hotel rooms at $85 a person. And we went over to look at the hotel just because at $85 we're kind of afraid that,
Yeah.
it is
Might be
Eau
one
Claire.
down by the rail yard that I've seen.
It might be, but it's really a nice place. So when you think about it, hotel rooms are going for close to 150 now. That gives you $65 more per day to spend on your model railroading hobby.
Right.
So
Right.
so keep that in mind. August, the MRA National in Long Beach, California. And then we'll start over with our brand new year, which will start with great things like the trunk sale and we'll hit right into another
Picnics and
phenomenal
all
year.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
All year. So join up now. You get a lot with the Twin Cities division.
You absolutely
that-
do.
So here's that convention: speeder trips, Carson Park,
Yep.
Santa City, clinics, layout celebration, banquets, and awards night. They're meeting tonight to settle the banquet menu. It'll be awesome. And of course, our famous lucky ticket raffle. And
Yep.
I saw Art Sewell in chat. Good evening, Art. Art is the greatest person at getting prizes for our lucky ticket raffle. He is amazing at that. So
It gets lots of neat stuff.
trying to see what Dan's is. There a popular theme yet for the celebration room?
Dan, that's something we've been kicking around, and I know a guy on the board, and he's our member at large, and I think he's working on that right now. I expect to have him have that theme for us any day now.
Yep.
Dan.
Yeah, we just got our
Dan.
new one, Dan.
Dan.
So they're asking, how do they participate in the Zoom meetings? We'll go through our sponsors here and talk about that. We got Scale Model Supplies, one of the great supporters.
Yep. Beautiful place to go.
Beautiful Hub Hobby, 2 locations, lots of, so they might not have your trains. They've got your plastics and your paints and your pens and your glues, and they're very kind to us. And Scenic Express was very kind to us for our first Modeler Skills Day, and we still have so much supplies left.
Yep.
That
We're gonna do it again.
we're gonna do it again. So we're back. So how do you participate in the Zoom meeting? Do we know that, Ken, or is that a TCD member only thing?
Oh, how do you participate in this? Oh, okay. I was confused. Thank you there will be a link on the link will come out on the Facebook page, and it'll also come out in the newsletter. So if you've not gotten our newsletters, first of all, check and make sure that it's not in your spam filter, but then send a note to info@tcdnmra.org, and I'll check the membership roster and make sure that you're on there, because We have had people that have had bad emails on there. We've had people that it gets in the spam filter. So we'll work with you to make sure that it gets to you, because that is important. And if we're missing something, you know, I'm not good at smoke signals or anything, but if we're missing a good way to communicate with you, just let us know, because that's always something we're interested to make sure everybody gets the word.
We have
So-
one more thing to talk about, Ken.
Oh, yes, the North Metro Invitational. We have been really fortunate that the North Metro Club, and they're a 100% NMRA club, has invited us to an operations sessions this Sunday from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And there's no fee, but we would appreciate a donation. And I think if you look at the opportunity, the phenomenal opportunity we're getting, you can see why, you know, a donation is really a great idea, because we want to be invited back. For those of us that went there last year, you could do just about any kind of railroad job you wanted, from running a passenger train to running a through freight to running a turn to running a switching job. I got an industrial area last year that was a lot of fun. And the time just flew. It was a lot of fun. There were people all around, cycling all around to make sure that if there were any issues at all, because it's a complicated layout, we got the help that we needed. And on the picture here, you see Ian Colby and Mitch Stockman, and it's like they say, come show up, and we will help you with the layout. We'll shadow you, or we'll let you go and just be there when you raise your hand.
Yeah.
So
Where else can you? Couple of things. Where else can you operate a working hump yard?
yes,
And where else can you operate under actual CTC?
yes,
You know,
Yep.
It's quite amazing. You can run commuter trains, coal trains. They've got enough, like Ken says, industrial switching areas to take in 10 people.
oh,
Iron ore
it's
trains. It's just amazing. It's so much fun.
yep,
It's so much fun.
absolutely. You're going to have as much fun as you can have with your socks on.
That's right. That's right. And if you really want to be in, maybe somebody will organize a pre lunch up there so we can get some donuts and fire up before we go there. But I don't know if they do that on Sunday. So, but yeah, check it out. Come there. It's great. No charge. A donation is very nice. So,
And there's
And,
the address in the chat.
right there we go. That is the address. Look them up on the web. They got a Facebook page. They've got a lot of things. A lot of great people in there. A lot of members. So,
Yep.
with that, should we bring on our buddy?
Let's bring on our special guest. I know people in the audience have been waiting for this, and there he is.
There he is. Say hello, John.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for letting me join you this evening.
So,
Welcome.
What are you
So,
going to show us tonight?
Well, I think, given the time of year, it only seemed appropriate to talk holiday trains, the holiday trains in town, and our special one-of-a-kind holiday train and HO scale was finally done just in time. So we thought it'd be really fun to share that and spread some holiday cheer with everybody.
Well, very
Great.
good. Great. Does everybody know what the CP holiday train is? If not, I got a video. I can run it if you want to see that. Otherwise, we'll stick to John. We'll stick to John's layout. So, what do you want to show first, John? You want to show how you made it, or do you want to show it running around?
Yeah, let's talk about how it was made. We can do that. We'll
Okay.
build up to it running around.
We'll build up to it run around here. Let me see here. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. And oops. Let me go back to the slides.
Well, that's quite a holiday train.
Yeah, that's quite the holiday train. We'll go all the way back to I forgot to hit the back button. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So we get John and his
Love the
holiday
intro.
train.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, so one of the things about the train that made it unique was we started with some undecorated box cars, and that was the foundation for the ideas we had. We wanted to figure out how to light some box cars to add that visual effect. And so these are just some real basic Athearn kits that we got to put the pieces together. And then as you can see along the top, we started adding some fabricated pieces as we designed how to add lighting to make it indirect without shining directly into your eyes. So these are pieces of styrene added at the top to deflect the light downward to then therefore light up the side of the car. So you'll kind of see why those are there as we move forward.
So this isn't just a regular toy train model. I see some details being added and some custom work in there.
Absolutely. That's a standard Athearn blue box kit that requires all assembly and then paint. So pretty legit.
Now you had a helper with this, I hear. So
I did. So my director, if you will, is my 12-year-old son, JD, and he helped create the vision for what this train would be and what it would look like, colors. We even talked about how the lights would flash to create the effects. So it was really fun to have his point of view and ideas to energize me and build the project to make it come to life. So the photo you're looking at there shows sort of behind those pieces of styrene to where the holes are. And these are to allow the tiny LED lights to be wired and then placed right outside the car. So that's sort of the secret behind it.
The secret sauce.
Yeah. This is as the project was sort of moving along, getting the primer coat of paint down so we could put together the color palette and start doing the visual decals to bring the cars to life. But ultimately we had a primer and then went with a white base coat to make everything pop.
You did, was it airbrush that, or what did you do?
So we're a little old school and just use rattle can. So no paint or airbrush here. So everything is spray paint with careful approach and light coats.
Wow. Well done.
So while we're working on the light cars, the idea we had, and one of the key pieces to making the holiday train come to life is sound. And we wanted to have the train play Christmas music as it rolled down the tracks, because without that, it's just a light show like any other train. So we came up with an idea to utilize a off-the-shelf boxcar. This was a particular one we special ordered a couple years ago, and started coming up with ideas of how to implement sound into it with small speakers. So the picture you're looking at there shows an iPhone 7 speaker that we purchased. And so the car actually has two of them to produce stereo sound. So it'll have a speaker pointed outward out each side of the car.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So the photo here shows the other end of that speaker sticking out. So we carefully cut into the car and made a nice clean spot for that speaker to come out, so there's no obstruction to getting the audio out.
I think people will get to hear how well it sounds here.
It turned out surprisingly well. So we'll come back to the sound card in a little bit. So a lot of moving pieces here, but we had numerous decal kits that we obtained from Microscale. They made some great holiday kits that we put to use, and having limited decals to choose from, we were strategizing how to use them. And so in this particular case, we fabricated some pieces of styrene and put decals on them. And when you move to the next pictures ahead, you'll see these were actually created to be hung onto the locomotive we wanted to put on the train. And the reason we did that is we put the decals on something that's removable, in case we ever wanted to change it, or let's say we wanted that locomotive to be used a different time of the year, then it's not just a dedicated holiday locomotive. So these decals with removable styrene pieces made that possible. And so there's a early look at the mock-up on the locomotive. You'll see how the pieces sort of hang on there, and then we used a lightweight double-sided tape behind them to just stick them to the rails so they don't fall off. But it gives the engine a nice clean look and makes it quite festive in just a matter of minutes.
Now, are you and your son Sioux Line fans, or did you just pick it because it's red for Christmas?
Most of it was color based. Yep. We went with something that, one, we had it in our possession, and two, it was red and white. So it makes you instantly think of a candy cane, and
Yes.
it's Christmas. So
Yes. It's
Yep.
genius. It's genius.
So this is one of the box cars that, as it's been now through the paint shop and it's getting decals, this is one of the microscale kits that is an absolute fan favorite. This one shows, it's our snow scene, if you will, of the snowflakes and snowmen. So it was multiple layers of decals to get the snow down on the car, the snowflakes, the snowmen, and then adding the script decals on top of it. So it was a very tedious process. I've become quite fond of doing decals now because of this project. So it was pretty good.
That's good. So the Merry Christmas is a decal over a paint or a decal over a decal?
It's a decal over a decal.
Wow. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Same with the snowman as well. So getting all the decals to fit cleanly in those lines and tight spaces was such a challenge. But, you know, slow, steady approach and patience was the key. So it worked out really well.
Yeah. Decaling over ribs is no fun. So
no. So the other two cars we kept as a white base, and we wanted to make one featuring a tree scene with all the pine trees, so that those colors, we had this primary green and white, and then the other car of the candy canes, the sweet tooth of the bunch is, you know, the red and white theme. So after laying out all the decals and kind of coming up with it, it just felt really good to have these have their own individual themes, but then when you put them together, it just brings this whole thing to life. It's pretty cool.
Yep. I like the candy canes.
And those are probably some of the hardest decals to put on because it's one solid decal, by the way, that goes across the whole car. And to get it to tuck down in all the rib sides was extremely difficult.
So you used a whole bottle of microsol is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Lots of decal solution.
There we go.
Yeah, so you can see the mock-up as we've progressed. You know, it's fun to lay your decals out on the car and really get a good visual of it before committing. So you can see here we ended up going with, you know, adding some text and then some wreaths just to kind of bring that theme together.
I like it. I like it. All right, here we go, because people were asking about the power. So here we go.
Yeah, so on the electrical side, I shared a photo of this device because if there's something anybody should have on their workbench, which I love to have all sorts of neat tools and gadgets, this is something I purchased recently and absolutely love. I bought it for this project because of the amount of LED lights I had to install and test along the way. And basically what this does is it simplifies the check-in process with your LEDs as you pre-installation to make sure they work. And then after you install them, before they're permanently done, you can test them again. And it's a great way to just, you know, make sure they light up and you move forward, because there's nothing worse than getting your project done and then realizing an LED doesn't work. So it's cool. It has the little spring-loaded clips. So if you wanted to have the wires held on in place for a while, you could. Otherwise, just touching them on the contacts works great because it has a built-in resistor, and so the voltage is correct without frying out your lights.
Yeah, I like that little company. That's where the welder on my layout is built by them. People always ask who made the welder, and it's this little company here. So I'll have to look for that. I like that idea that it just pops on a 9-volt battery.
Yeah.
What's the name of the company?
I believe it's engineering, if I remember right.
Right, with the letter N.
Yeah. Yep. I purchased it at Walther's, but I would imagine you can find it in a lot of places.
Maybe somebody will look it up and post a link on our thing here. So, all right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Highly recommended.
All right, here we go.
Yep. So this would be a good example of as I moved along the project. Now we've got lights. We've started the installation there. So all the lights are mounted and are threaded through each of those little holes you saw. So each box car has 16 lights total, 8 on each side. And they're set up in pairs, red and green. So that way we can create the flash effect we're going for. But here is one of the final stages as I'm wiring everything together. You can see I've got alligator clips on them or connectors to just power them up, make sure everything's good as I continue out the assembly. So it's really fun when you get to this point because the lights truly bring everything else to life.
Now, are the lights set to blink, or did you have a circuit to do that?
Yeah, so within each box car, we installed a function-only decoder. So installing a DCC decoder that through 2 different output leads, half the lights are tied into one lead, the other are into the other lead, and we can utilize the functionality and CV programming aspect in the decoder to therefore set the flash type and rate that we wanted. So we took that high-tech approach. Part of the reason we did that is because that then allows us to utilize decoder address tied to a throttle to give us full remote control from a throttle to not only control the train, but also the lighting. So each car shares the same address as the locomotive for full DCC control.
Okay, yeah, so you can MU it. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
I think wait till you see the video of this moving. Okay, there's some wire management.
Yeah, wire management, absolutely. What goes on inside the cars is an absolute mess. But to have that as organized as it is, it still might give people a panic attack looking at that, but it's truly organized chaos. I look at it because I used different colored tape to mark which colored wires are tied to which function. So as most people know, we've got decoder outputs with yellow and white wires. So that helps me keep everything organized from a color coding standpoint to know which wires are going to go to which set of lights. So as I wired them up and tied them to their own resistors, you get to this point and then it's ready for the decoder install.
Yeah, I think some people that looks like the underside of their layout, so they're not saying too much because that might even look like the underside of my layout, but I'm not gonna. Yeah,
it's a bit of a mess, but it worked and it makes sense to me, so it works.
Yep, that's just amazing. All right, here we go. Okay, this is what I need your help with here. Okay, what are we doing now?
The secret sauce to all these cars functioning properly is having the source of power. And so I'm using track power to do that. It's there, it's available. I might as well utilize it. And then it prevents having to have any onboard train batteries and switches and controls. So these are all handmade power pickup wheels using brass tubing that spins freely on the axle and has just enough contact to pick up power from each of the rails to then source the cars themselves.
Are these Intermountain wheels? I missed. What did you say they were?
Those are Walther's brand
Walther's
metal wheel sets.
And they got the metal trucks. Okay.
They do.
I did not know they had metal axles on theirs. Okay, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
This is the version where they're all metal and they work fantastic from both functionality, they're cost friendly, and they fit the project perfectly.
They fit the project. Yeah. Nice job. That's difficult to do. All right. So what do we? Oh, MU cables here.
Yeah. So one of the cool things about how these cars all work is because each car has its own opportunity to pick up power. The challenge we all know with power pickup axles is you have the opportunity for light flicker. One way to overcome that is through like a keep alive device. In my situation, we couldn't use a keep alive type device with these particular decoders. They're just not made for it. So I had to come up with a way to solve that problem of consistent and reliable power, because without it, it would ruin the light effect and it would ruin the sound. So when I did the math, I realized and thought, if I tie all the cars together, increase the total axles contributing to an onboard train source of power, that would therefore eliminate the opportunity for a loss of or interruption of power. So all the cars are connected through a two-prong plug that sits right above the coupler. And when done properly, every right and left rail stays consistent throughout the train and eliminates any interruption of power to the train itself.
Wow. A lot of planning there.
An absolute high amount of planning for sure.
I see it decaled the roofs too as well.
We did on the snow car. We had a lot of snowflakes to use, and it looked absolutely perfect to do that. So it was cool.
The leftover decals. I like it. All right, here we go.
So this particular car is a run-of-the-mill flat car that you might see from Athearn or Roundhouse. And we decided we wanted to have a snow scene. And we found some figures of kids playing in the snow, making snowman. And this was inspired by my son, who loves to play outside in the snow. We build snowmen every year. And this was a way to sort of just capture that and then share it. So the scene shows kids outside sledding, throwing snowballs, building a snowman with some snow-covered trees around. We added the decals on the railing. The railings were handmade from styrene and then painted and installed. And then to top it off, to bring it to life in the dark, we added the street lamps that you can see there. Those were some old kits that we found and added LED lights inside of them and then painted them to have that snowy effect. And it truly brings this car to life at night. Those street lights are on and you can see the scene, and it's just awesome.
Yeah, you'll see that there.
Wiring this particular car was probably the most difficult because there's not a lot of space to hide the wiring and electronics. So we ended up using a lot of really fine 30 gauge wire and a couple small resistors hidden inside the single channel in the chassis of the car. And we're able to hide everything in there, tuck it in, and then at the same time, out one end of the car had the MU cables, if you will, to connect to the rest of the train, which prevents the street lights from flickering.
A lot of work. Here we go. Oh, there's the lights. There's the street lights.
Yeah, so the effect at night is fantastic, and it's really cool to see. But it's definitely a fan favorite and one of our personal favorites for sure.
Very cool. Very cool.
The locomotive is an Athearn Ready to Roll series locomotive that we had. It had been sitting on the shelf for quite some time, but we had an idea we may use it for this someday. So it was the perfect fit. And one thing you can't see in the photo is that we did add some lighting effects to it as well, which are hidden behind the side signage. So you'll see that in the video coming up. But we added some red and green lights just to tie it in with the train. What made it a little interesting in that regard is we made the lights removable. So tiny wires will, peek out from underneath the frame, and the lights sit inside of some styrene tube on the outside of the locomotive. But I use those same micro plugs on the inside to connect and disconnect from the wiring harness off the decoder. So when it's out of service for the holidays, we can just remove the lights.
Nice. There's the co-conspirator, right?
That's the co-conspirator. Yep. So he's around here somewhere. I'm sure he'll show up soon. But we're always on a train adventure and just absolutely enjoying it. But he keeps me on my toes and keeps pushing me to come up with new things and make things come to life. So
Very good.
Yep.
Where are you at with all these trains behind you?
That's the group out in St. Croix Falls, if I remember correctly, where you can go for a ride on the train. So we did that this summer and had an absolute blast.
Wow. And this is your club.
Yeah. So actually, before we get to that, just wanted to let the young guys say hi. So
hello.
This is JD.
Let me bring him up.
There you
here.
go.
Hey, JD.
Hi.
Hi, JD.
Hello.
So you guys, a lot of you guys might have seen JD around. He's one of our experienced operators at the Hennepin Overland. But JD's been officially operating trains at the Hennepin Overland since the age of 4. So he's one of the youngest we've ever had with full freedom to run a throttle and show the older guys how it's done. So a lot of people look up to JD and you can always find him around there and ask him lots of questions and he'll tell you all about it.
JD, it would be great if you could take a break from Burnsville and come up and show us how to operate at North Metro this Sunday.
Yeah, that'd be good. We could use that. You can run Amtrak or your train around. We'll do that there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can I guess the last thing I'll mention with Hennepin Overland, or I'll say in the photo there, you can see our new expansion off to the right. As you guys mentioned, we've been going kind of crazy with building onto the layout this year. So there's a lot to see if you haven't been there in a while, and it's highly recommended. But this is the largest expansion this layout has seen in a very long time. So it's pretty cool.
That is cool. That is really cool. And there we go.
I felt it was appropriate. We had to share this today because it's 100% true. So it's hard to believe it's Christmas without a train under the tree.
Yeah. So thank you for that. Let's see if I can hook this up to run your holiday train here.
Sure.
How many cars?
Pushing the wrong buttons here. Go ahead, Ken.
How many cars in total did you build, John?
So we built 3 box cars from scratch, and then we used a couple pre-made cars. One was a holiday themed car that we turned into the Sound. And then the other car was a Sioux Line box car we had laying around that just fit perfectly to add to the train and added some decals to it. The flat car, and then there's a caboose we made as well. So it's pretty awesome.
Good. We can count them as they go by in the video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can add this to there, and this is on the Fremo layout, right?
Yep. So the sound is coming from the boxcar that you hear. So the quality maybe not sound the greatest through pre-recording, but you could definitely get the idea. So the caboose itself was something we had in our possession from my grandfather. We repurposed it and repainted it for that purpose, gave it a lot of the same decal treatment. The car itself, the caboose, has a end of train Fred device on the back that flashes. It's electrified. Santa is hanging on the back to wave at the kids as we go by. We added some LEDs inside and outside the car just to add a little more nightlife to it as well.
Yeah. So Dan here, what's that say, Ken? He's got there.
It sure would be great to have John do a clinic at the Modelers Retreat on wiring cars and engines for light and sound. Just saying.
Just saying. Just saying. Now, you said earlier that was by Bluetooth. You could pick the songs.
Yeah, so I can elaborate a little bit on that. The adding sound to a train in this aspect was quite a challenge. Initially, I went to thinking I could just put a decoder in there, have a sound decoder, and play some audio on it. The challenge with that is most decoders have limited space. So when you do the math, you might be stuck with 3 to 5 of the same songs that would just repeat, and that would lose interest real quick. So we thought, how do we get music onto the train without having an MP3 player stuck on it that I'd have to control or just let play randomly? This is where the idea came to mind through just random discussions about the audio aspect. And it's like a Bluetooth, right? We can stream music to it. Then we just have to mount a speaker on it. So to power the speakers, we found a low voltage amplified circuit board that fits inside of a box car. It plays stereo audio, has enough power to support 2 speakers, and then it uses Bluetooth. So you can send any audio you want to it from a mobile device. Using it in that regard, we could just play from any streaming service with endless amounts of music and control the volume remotely. So ultimately, you'd have 2 throttles in your hand to put on a great show. And that solved it. Then it just came down to getting enough power to it. And as you saw, we used train connection to increase the power. With the sound card, we added a Keep Alive device just to make sure it had enough juice because it took a little more. And we've had 0 issues with it since. It's just been amazing.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think
so. It's great. Pretty high tech. It's not the norm, but why not try it? And we did. So it worked out.
Absolutely.
So how are you going to top that next year?
We have ideas. The drawing board is back in service. We've thought about some potential additions for next year. So maybe we'll just keep everybody hanging and see what happens after that.
You're just going to keep adding more and more cars to it, right?
Yeah, we have a system down. We have a design that works. So from here, you could expand and increase the scope and really do what you wanted. So your ideas become endless.
And yes, absolutely. You can do whatever you want.
Then it just comes down to the time. So, a project like this, we started the idea phase back, I'd say in August or September. And I started painting cars on October 1st. And the goal to have this done was December 1st, and we did it. So
yay! Wow,
we met our deadline.
A model builder who finishes a project. That's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
So,
it went too well that now we think we can do more. So I guess we should.
Okay. Well, I think we'll wrap it up with that. But stick around, John. We got some prizes to give away. See if I can show them
Awesome.
here. We have
the last
calendars.
thing I'll quickly mention.
Gosh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, as a reminder, this weekend, if anybody here wants to see the train in person, swing down to Hennepin Overland on Friday or Saturday night and come up, say hi, and we can definitely talk about more of the details and get an up-close look. So we'd love to share and show the project.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, I don't see why. I think bring it to, if you're coming, bring it. First thing I can say is no, but it might be fun. Just go around that layer. Have a chase it. Oh, there you go too. Look at that. See?
Ooh.
Absolutely.
Wait, Ken's finger. Oh no. Maybe John and JD will put that in the car. You don't want me.
Yeah.
So
Say, John, think about how you're going to do a holiday ore car hauling red dirt, though.
we'll put a tree in it or something there.
Oh, there you go.
We will have
There's a way.
mint flavored taconite. We can have candy cane flavored taconite. We can do that. So
There you go.
all right. So we have some calendar giveaways. Joe Fear gave us 3. He says, and Ken, you got a Burlington Northern one, or?
I do.
So we have 4, and we'll use our world famous StreamYard thing. So I want the first one to enter the hashtag holiday. Enter that in the chat, and you will be entered in the first giveaway. I think that'll be
So is that capital H and then small letters, or?
all small letters. All small letters. Just hashtag # holiday. And we'll do that.
Like that.
Just like that. And you too can be entered in this calendar. So what are you doing for Christmas, John? What you asking for any trains, or what's JD want? More trains, or?
I'm sure there's a few trains on the list. Yeah. We just spent Sunday chasing and checking out the CP holiday train at the Union Depot. So that's one of our favorite traditions. It would have been nice to see it again this year, but there's always next year to do more. But it's fun. It's Christmas time is the best time. So
yeah, it's nice. I like that they run it down the old M&S branch line, because then it goes right to my house. So
that's perfect.
So I caught it going over 394 the other day. I got a video I'll probably show at the end here. And is everybody in this? Is everybody ready? Think we should go anymore? Anybody else want to enter? I think we got everybody. All right, we'll push the button here. Ready? Here we go. Nope, we don't win it. Tim Hamilton, yay!
Hey, is that the famous Tim Hamilton that's Dave Hamilton's nephew?
It might be. It might be.
So, Tim, if you'll send your email address to info@tcdnmra.org.
Nope.
We'll get,
I got. Nope. We're gonna give
you
them.
got it?
Well, yeah. Have them send it there. Then I got Joe's
Okay.
email address, and he will send it. So say that again, Ken, or put that in the
Okay.
type. And the next one will be hashtag NMRA. It's a National Railroad Association. Hashtag NMRA. Keep it up with everybody here. Yeah, perfect. Yep, just like Bonanza. Hashtag and then info@TCD. Send your name there. Congratulations, Tim. And okay. Oh, I gotta stop that. Hang on a second here. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Put that over here. And Wednesday and hashtag NMR. Okay. Let me know when we think we got everybody in there.
I think we can go.
Think
Tom
we can go?
Tennyson's in.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, Tom Tennyson's in, so we can go there. All right, ready?
Yep.
Wait till it comes up on the screen. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Jason might have got in. Yeah, look at that.
Jason.
The last guy to enter. Wow.
Well deserved.
Yes. One of our favorite Jasons. I think that's just great. That's just great. All right, here. Let's see this again here. And the next one will be hashtag TCD, as in Twin Cities Division. And set this up.
There we go. Starting to get them in.
All right. All right. There we go. TCD. And then Ken, I'll let you come up with the last hashtag for the BN one there.
Okay.
I think we got everybody in. Randy in the last. Nope, Don's coming in. Give it another 30 seconds here. That's not bad, John, but it's too long, too much for people to type. Yeah, I think that's a good hashtag. Okay, I'm looking at the comments, and I think Don's the last one. So here we go. No, the vice president. Look at Randy. Randy's the winner.
Awesome.
Randy with an I. All righty.
You know, I actually think John as our guest, it should be his choice, and he would like it to be hashtag holiday train, all one word.
All right. Here we go.
I'm happy to
There you go.
contribute.
I'll put it up there, and you guys can see it.
There it is.
The holiday train. And this is Mr. Zeska found a. I suppose I could find a Union Pacific calendar. Maybe that'll be next week. I think I've got about 30 of them.
I was lucky enough. I went away from the holiday party with a beautiful UP hat as an award. It's a dark gray with black lettering. It really looks manly.
What else did Dan have for prizes? Because I had to skip out and actually go play with real trains. So
Gift cards, lots of neat little clamps for modeling, screwdriver sets and airbrush cleaner sets, and all sorts of useful things that everybody could use. Dan Cohen brought in some neat scenery stuff that he donated, so we had a nice box for that.
all right, I got 12 entries.
All right, let's
Ready?
roll.
Here we go. Here we go. Three dubs.
Wig Workshop.
Well done, 3 dubs. The former Wisconsinite. We'll have to send them some Leinenkugels along with the BN calendar.
Well, we'll send
Yeah,
them. I think I probably still have a sticker or two left over. I'll send them also.
We can send them some stickers there.
Yep.
And things like that. JD wants a hat. So let me, okay, so you got all those names.
Yep.
Let's see if I can show the holiday train here. And we'll see. We'll watch this right before, and then we'll end it there. Congratulations, all the winners. Sorry, I have to run.
Yep.
Hockey at 9 o'clock at night. All right.
I hope he's running to watch it.
That's what I said too. I hope it's more fun than that. So this guy was playing Jingle Bells on the horn.
That's perfect.
This was very cold, and I was out there with a bunch of people who like to walk in front of me, but they couldn't see me either. So this is crossing 394 on the West Lake Street here. Oh, you're fine. I'm working. You come over here. This is good. The farther you get away, you'll be able to see more of it because it's so big. It kind of gets blurry because as it went by, I was shaking my camera. I had it on a tripod, but it was banging me around.
Filming at night is not the easiest either.
Yeah.
It is such a great thing that they do as well to raise money and collect food for those in need. So
yeah, they put on a good show and stuff.
Yep.
And this is what yours will look like next year, right, John? This is what.
That's our hope. Yeah, we just need somebody to make stuff small enough for that. Maybe I can add that horn effect to our locomotive for next time.
Yeah, you could probably program that in there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know my soundtracks one has the Canadian national anthem on it. So
there you go. There's opportunity.
Lots of fun.
Tom, did you say this was last night?
this was Monday night.
Friday?
Was it?
Was
Yeah.
it?
When was it?
It's out towards Buffalo tonight, I think, heading west.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They made 3 stops on this line. They were going to a stop behind me, and as I was going home, the traffic was just horrid. So I just wanted to catch him en route. It's quite the sight. Yep. So next year you'll have an observation car and everything like that, and
Yeah, we'll have to get the reversing lighting effects on the car as well for those shoves.
yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And let me stop that. And we've had a request to show the holiday trip one more time. So we'll add that and let her run.
That's pretty clever the way you have the iPhone speaker coming out at the end of the boxcar.
Thank you. Yeah, you can't really see them, but you can definitely hear them. I think we have the volume maybe halfway. So.
Yeah. So Dwight, this whole podcast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Dwight, this whole podcast will be on YouTube in an hour or two. So just have them link it up and let them see the whole podcast.
Yeah, the whole thing, the video cast and things like that. So,
Yep.
want to thank you all, and wish everyone a happy holidays. And with that, we'll see. Yeah,
Will we be on next Wednesday?
We should be.
Okay.
If you want to be here, John, you coming back? You got another train for us?
We can talk Christmas trains.
We can talk Christmas trains. All right, everyone.
We'll see if we can't line up Santa Claus.
We'll line up Santa Claus. So bring your hats, bring your candy canes, and
I'll send them a note.
We'll see you all next week. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you.